Ready, set, go.
Did did you hear? Did you hear the news? Huh? Huh? She's back. She's freaking back, people. I mean, she never actually left. She's been hard at work for a number of years now. But Rebecca Black is back, baby. Let I was just sitting, freaking watching YouTube and talking to my friends on Facebook as your average millenniax does, when one of my friends just casually mentioned that there was a new Rebecca Black album, like an actual full, I guess technically her debut album. All these years later, after she unfairly ignited the rage of everyone in North American 21st century society. Just all of our sort of compressed, internalized hatred toward anything associated with teenage girls was just unleashed on her 10 odd years ago. And here we are in 2023. She's got a whole album out. The last thing that I heard Rebecca Black's voice in, I think, was... Actually, let me just check to make sure. Yes. Was the song Edgelord by Dorian Electra. So, I am hoping... Last I had heard, she also re-released, she did a remix or a redo of Friday. She did like a freaking hyperpop revision of Friday. And while it wasn't really my thing, I respected her for it. I was happy that she went and did that, and I am so excited to listen to this album right now. It just came out today, February 9th, 2023. So, I don't want to dilly-dally anymore. Let's get our dillies and our dallies out of the goddamn way and listen to this freaking thing. 10 songs, half an hour long. Short and snappy, little bit of how's your dad, and we're good to go, as they say. It's probably not actually that. Who knows what we're in for. The album is called Let Her Burn, which is also quite promising. The album cover is also promising. Just a lot to look at here, a lot to appreciate. I'm so excited. We're gonna get started with the first song. Is there anything like... Nah, she hasn't really said much. Like, there's... Or at least as far as I'm looking at on Genius. Let's just listen to the first song. Let's just listen to the first song. I just want to start listening to this. First song is called Erase You. Let's make this happen.
I can't think about any of the good things about you now. Just all of the ways that you let me down. lashing out, lashing out. It's the way
Okay.
that it's gotta be. Point the blame at you, so it's off of me. Don't know
Right.
where I got all this apathy.
Oh. That was a really nice transition of like bringing the vocals into focus. It's like literally like the auditory equivalent of like a camera focusing on her face. I really like that. It's like it kind of started out a little bit foggy, a little fuzzy, and now we're zooming in. We're staring directly in Rebecca's face, and I'm ready.
Whole new side of me, side of me.
Nice.
Can't get away. Down
Okay.
with the others. I'll keep myself deep underwater.
Okay.
All my mistakes, I keep uncovered.
And obviously, she doesn't need to prove this to anyone at this point, but she has an amazing voice. She's a really talented singer. Like, everyone, but most people sound like crap when they're teenagers. Most people. You get the odd prodigies, but like she knows what she's doing and she does it well.
I can't erase you. I'll let you play the villain,
Ooh.
so I can sleep at night. I need to kill these feelings.
Oh. This is exactly what I was hoping for. This is exactly what I wanted. No more, no less. This is exactly what I'm hoping for. Oh my gosh, this makes me so happy. Yesterday, I tried making an album reaction to an album that I ended up just disliking. Just didn't like the album, and it was the worst experience. I don't like sitting and trying to listen to like music and then failing to like it. So this is just a breath of fresh air. This is delightful.
So I can move on with my life.
Oh,
I painted you perfect. Replace the color of your eyes with blood red skies.
what? She's got some sort of weird. She's playing around with these stringed instruments, but they're just like coming and going, like cars passing you by. It's just like, meh, and it's gone. You can't really pay much attention to it for too long.
I'm floating. Don't catch me. Might twist the picture of you and lie on mine.
Ooh.
Lock it away. Down with the others. I'll keep myself deep underwater. All
Nice.
mistakes, I keep uncovered. So I can sleep at night.
Nice. Okay. Nice little slide up there. Didn't need to get it weird, but I'm glad you did. Oh. Oh. Oh, this is what I needed. This is what I was looking for. Okay. Strong start. But I've been fooled by a strong start before, Rebecca. So, I'm gonna keep listening. Hopefully you can keep up this momentum. I'll just do a quick pass over these lyrics here. I can't think about any of the good things about you now. Just all the ways that you let me down. Got me lashing out. It's the way it's gotta be. Put the blame in you, so it's over me. Don't know where I got all this apathy. Whole new side of me. I'll let you play. So the chorus is, I'll let you play the villain so I can sleep at night. I need to kill these feelings so I can move on with my life. Okay. Okay, so she's kind of, this isn't a breakup song, this is a post-breakup song. This is the song you write to get over the breakup. And it's literally about the process of that, and that part of the process where, in order to make it easier to get over this person, you focus on all the bad things that happened, or the bad things about them that caused tension, and you focus on all of those things to the point where you kind of end up painting this maybe somewhat unfair image of them that maybe wasn't too accurate to how they actually are. But it allows you to, that's the key to helping you move on. And so on one hand, you're getting emotional closure, but maybe the result is you have this skewed, distorted idea of the person that you used to be with. Whether that's like an entirely bad thing, I'll leave it up to you. I think depending on the situation, it can have varying levels of harm or benefit. So, yeah, nice. I'm excited. I just want to hear more. Next song is called "Destroy Me," which is promising. That's a promising title. Not the idea of destroying yourself. That's obviously that's a no can do. Good buddy. But any song title with the word destroy tends to prove to be a bit of a ride, which I am excited for. So let's see if this holds up. Ooh. Okay.
God, am I just a loser? I bet that's what they always say. Man, everybody's cooler, and the compliments, they seem so fake. I'm so good at getting put the paranoid.
Okay.
People I try to avoid. My identity's so easy to destroy. Go ahead, destroy me. Every time
Okay.
you see me, hear violence. Cut a little deeper, there's no reaching the end. Watch me while I crush and burn again.
This is an element that is very, very prevalent in hyperpop now, that has kind of been borrowed from early 2010s, early 2000s pop of like really, really fast like drum machine rhythms of the like that really quickly snare and hi-hat sort of thing. And hyperpop tends to just speed it up even a little bit more to where it gets that kind of like overwhelming speed sort of feel. And I find it really fun. As long as you don't rely on it too much, it's a really fun device to use. What are you doing?
Go ahead, destroy me. Go ahead, destroy me.
Hell yeah! Oh, that's nasty. That's disgusting. In the best way. Oh my gosh, I love that. In the words that I used when I was listening to Coping Mechanism, that's crunchy. That's a real crispy crunch right there. I love it. This is making me happy.
Don't wanna be a loser.
Ooh. And now she's keeping it for the rest of the song, keeping that super processed electric guitar. That's a good choice. Nicely done there, Becca. Nice. Oh, and then she brings that in for the chorus instead. That's sick. That's a really nice way of shifting that around. Very, very smart. Also, this song is just making it how much more clear that Rebecca Black and Dorian Electric have been hanging out and inspiring each other in their own ways. Couldn't be happier for that friendship. There are so many textures. Oh, geez. Oh, no. Oh, no. I clicked the next song instead of... God damn it. Hang on. There were so many textures going on there. And it was scratching my brain so nicely. Like you've got the sort of steady hits of the electric guitar. You've got the fast drum machine. You've got the synthesizers a little bit more in the back, and it's all the cogs meshed together and into one beautiful musical clock. Ooh. I like the more chill guitar in here as well. Oh, okay. Setting the guitar down before you finish the song. Nice. Good work. Oh, this is so much fun. Oh, it makes me so happy. Ah. Oh, nicely done, Miss Black. Good work so far. Okay. Moving on. Well, let's take a quick look at the lyrics. Pre-chorus, I think, seems to have pretty good amount of meat here. I'm so good at getting paranoid, pop paranoid. Got a list of people I try to avoid. My identity so easy to destroy. Go ahead, destroy me. And then the chorus is, every time you see me, do you hear violins? Cut a little deeper, there's no reaching the end. Watch me while I crash and burn again and again. Go ahead, destroy me. Feeling pretty cute until I ran into you, chewed me up and spit me out like gum on your shoe. And if you're free and you got nothing better to do, go ahead, destroy me. Nice. Maybe... I mean, I could be wrong here, but this feels like Rebecca Black's statement on how she has been treated by the general populace over the past 10 to 15 years or so. And this is her response at this place where she's happy with who she is. Hopefully, Rebecca, if you're watching this, hopefully you're happy with where you're at. And she seems to be aware that the only reason that she is where she's at is because she's taken those times where she just feels destroyed and ganged up on. She has taken those moments as opportunities to rebuild herself into something better and stronger and more resilient, which is kind of the best way to deal with that thing. It's unfortunate that she had to do it at all, but if you're gonna be in that situation, I think that is the way to go about that. And I think this is a nice little thing of like, you're gonna try to take me down, go ahead, I'll just come back stronger, which is great. Good for you. Moving on to Misery Loves Company, which I'm not entirely sure in my experience if that is true. In my experience, Misery is a huge fan of isolation. But that's just me. We'll find out Rebecca has to say about it. Ooh, oh, bass. Oh, bass. Oh, it's very round bass.
So many words on the tip of my tongue.
Ooh.
I got a graveyard of all of the failed loves that I've paid in blood. All of these tears I've cried in ocean. I can't control the ways I'm coping. Not ready to feel, just wanna feel you on my body when it's late and I'm lonely. And I'm lonely. I just can't stand another
Okay.
night on my own.
Ah.
Rather be dead than have to sleep here alone. What's wrong with me?
Oh. Oh my gosh. So, I'm going to make a pretty general statement when it comes to the creative process and making art. A lot of the time, particularly with art that is sort of set along a timeline, so this doesn't necessarily apply to like visual art where you experience the whole thing all at once, right? You look at the painting, you're experiencing all of the painting all at once. Not the case with the song. Song, you're experiencing parts of it as you go, as time passes. Same goes for like a movie or a video game or a play. And so within those works, where you're sort of working with different chapters of a thing, whether that be song in an album or parts of a song, each of those parts of a song are their own choice. You make choices like what is the first verse gonna sound like? What are you gonna do with the first verse? From there, how are you gonna move into the second verse or the pre-chorus if you've got one? That's its own choice. Then you've got choices based on the chorus, right? And a lot of the time, you'll also have artists that kind of, break that template and blend between the different sections of the song. Maybe you don't have a established chorus. Maybe you don't have a bridge. Maybe you don't have an intro. Who's to say? But in most sort of modern music, thanks to the likes of, iconic artists past, your templated performers like ABBA, the Beatles. Well, maybe the Beatles aren't the best example, but ABBA is a good example of this is what the verse sounds like, this is what the chorus sounds like, this is what the pre-chorus sounds like, this is what the bridge is, and you've got your own sets of choices for each thing, right? And in this song, sometimes you're just listening to a song and you just love every choice that is made. You don't know what the choice is going to be until you hear it, and as soon as you hear it, you're just like, yes, this was the correct choice. And I feel that about this song right now. Okay, dropping out.
Won't swim.
Nice.
No lights in the dark, but moonlight in the garden.
I love that bass synth part in the back, just sort of the boom 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 boom. It's a really nice sort of like bouncy push to have going on there, and that helps, especially if the only percussion that you have is the kick drum. Sometimes you need to rely on the rest of the instruments, or the rest of the production, to kind of keep things driving forward. Nice. The other cool thing that she does here is the chorus has its own built-in uh build. Like you could call that the pre-chorus, but there's also another pre-chorus. There's all of these tears I've cried in ocean that's marked as the pre-chorus, and so the chorus has its own, gives itself time to get up to that really cool like full the full sound that they're going for. It allows itself space to justify getting there, you know? It feels earned when you give it that space. Okay. Oh, that slapped. That was so good. I think so far my favorites, my tops. I really liked Destroy Me, but I think Misery Loves Company is just a little bit above that. Okay. Let's take a look at these lyrics. All of these tears, this is the pre-chorus. All these tears I've cried in ocean, can't control the ways I'm coping, not ready to feel, just want to feel you on my body. When it's late and I'm lonely, and I'm lonely. And then the chorus is, I just can't stand another night on my own. I'd rather be dead than have to sleep here alone. What's wrong with that? My misery, it loves your company. Won't you come under me, crawling back in? My misery, it loves your company. Crave the toxicity under my skin. Nice. Okay, so it's just kind of talking about the ways in which loneliness can drive you to make unhealthy choices, which is very, very true. Yeah, loneliness is one of those things that when it gets bad enough, you can often end up. That's one of the most common things that can cause you to kind of fall back on unhealthy habits, is that lack of connection to anyone, or that just feeling of isolation, and that feeling of isolation making you feel like you need to get through life on your own. And if you don't feel like you can get through life on your own, then you end up looking for other things to help you through that might not be good for you. So, nice. That was so much fun. I loved all of that. We are moving on to Crumbs. Oh. Ooh.
So cherry chaotic, the taste of losing control. I'm chasing down the drip, down the crack.
Okay.
Now I'm staring down the metal barrel of you gone.
Okay.
Surrender on a bender, you're the drug. You're bad and I deserve it. When will I ever learn? Get off and get hurt. You can make a mess and I'll
Oh.
pick up the crumbs. And there's nothing you
This is the bass rhythm, sort of whoop 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 sort of thing, reminds me of "Love You Like a Love Song" by Selena Gomez, which regardless of whether that gives you freaking Disney Channel traumatic flashbacks, song's a bop. But this one is a little bit dirtier, a little grimier, and I'm liking it.
in my ribs and under my chest. Take me slowly, like
She's doing a great job of like filling the space, but like not too much. like those, um, the instrumentation is kind of just popping in and out at very key sparse moments. The timing of it and the frequency of it is like just enough. Not like just enough as in I wish it were more, but it's like the perfect amount. Not too little, not too much. She's really hitting the sweet spot in kind of keeping the low energy, but still keeping it engaging, which is a really difficult line to walk. Oh, do you now?
You
Okay.
can make a mess and I'll pick up the crumbs. And there's nothing you could do to make me love you less.
There are certain like pop rhythms that I really enjoy, and this is one of the ones where it's sort of, it emphasizes on the upbeat, where it's like, and I'll pick up the crumbs. So the bass would be like 1, 2, 3. I'll pick up the crumbs, and the down is when the kick drum is hitting, and it gets this really tight groove going. It's really good, and it's the kind of rhythm that you can kind of make work at any speed, as long as your production is like tight enough and the drums are like just enough in the pocket, as they say. You can, it's kind of hard to mess that up. Ooh. What? 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 What is happening?
You can make a
Okay, bring it back. Very nice. That was so fun. That was so cool. Oh, and that freaking, I want to go back to that. I'm gonna go back to the beginning of that bridge, because she was doing something weird there that I just sort of like clued into late. Oh, so she does like just a little bit of a halftime break before she goes into those weird like detunes, like high tuned snare shots, which was also really cool. Nice, lovely, great work. Lovely choices. Okay, cat, I'm gonna hang on. As much as I love having her around, it doesn't help to have a cat run in screaming at me in the middle of a song, unfortunately. So, lyrics. Verse 1. So cherry chaotic, taste of losing control. I'm chasing down the drip, sip down the rabbit hole. Now I'm staring down the metal barrel of your gun. I surrender on a bender, you're the drug. Chorus is, you can make a mess, and I'll pick up the crumbs. And there's nothing you can do to make me love you less. At your worst, you're still my best. In my body, out of my head, in my ribs, and under my chest. And then they repeat that. Yeah, another sort of acknowledgement of you know, sort of toxic relationships. She's kind of vague on whether this has to do with an actual addiction or an actual relationship, and I think that's kind of the point that she's that's kind of the analogy that she's drawing here. This thing of like, no matter how badly she is treated or how much she gets hurt by these behaviors and these patterns, she keeps coming back. Yeah, I'm glad she's aware of it. Hopefully she's able to do something about it, because it's a vicious cycle is what that is. So, moving on to Doe Eyed. I am aware of what Doe Eyed means. Curious to see what she means by it. Ooh. Brightening up a little bit. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Oh. Okay. All right. Ooh. She's got the little bit of a auto-tune effect on it, which I think when used correctly is a really, really cool effect. And it's very commonly used in hyperpop. It's sort of kind of what makes hyperpop what it is that sort of the use of the like over processed sound to make commentary on things, one thing or another. But cool to hear her using it in this one. It works. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. She's doing some cool rhythmic stuff. I liked those quick little triplets there. That's fun. What are you doing with the bridge? Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. Fair enough. Nice. That was fun. That was a vibe. Not my favorite track so far. Doesn't hit quite as hard as I look for, but it's a good time. I like it. I don't feel like there's too much of a mystery as to what the song is about. It's what I like to call a good old horny jam. We love that. We love that for her. We love that for her, and the quote, little kitty with a big dream, as she calls it. So we're just gonna leave that as it is and move on to Sick to My Stomach. What a switch. Okay. What is making her sick to her stomach? Hopefully it's something that can be treated. Maybe she doesn't need to see a doctor for it. Maybe she should. Hopefully you're feeling okay, Rebecca. Hopefully you're no longer sick to your stomach. Or maybe you are, and it's an okay thing. I don't know. I don't know what this song is about. I'm just speculating. All right? Jeez. Ooh. Spacey. My immediate thought was that it reminded me of Sick of the Sun by Poppy. I've been re-listening to the whole I Disagree album, which is one of my favorite albums. Sick of the Sun vibes is what I'm getting from this. It's a good time. Yeah.
Told you to move on.
Okay.
And girl, that's what you did.
Ooh, we got ourselves a
But
ballad.
I'm not doing the same thing. So I can't say anything.
You can say some
I
things.
don't even miss you.
No,
I promise I mean that.
I believe you.
I don't want you for myself.
Okay.
I don't want to see you with somebody else.
That sounds counterintuitive.
Back together. Wanted to see you stop forever.
Okay.
I hate her and I don't even know her. Don't even know her name.
Okay.
And now I'm sick, 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 sick,
Ooh.
sick to my stomach. My head knows you weren't the one I wanted. And fuck.
We've gone full 80s pop here. We're going full 80s diva right here, and it's a good time. I love that like percussive synth that they're using here. And the kind of like triplet drum rhythms. Good times. This is also a very strong Carly Rae Jepsen vibes, who I guess also, you know, draws inspiration from 80s pop. So makes sense.
It's all of the fighting and fuck. It sucks to see that you're trying again before I did.
Nice.
Same dance.
I love how dramatic this is. It's so over dramatic with the like sort of background refrains where she's sort of like just going off, repeating the verses on like keywords. It's just really capturing the diva-ness of it all, and just turning it up to 10. It's great. It's exactly what you want to do.
Trying again before I did.
Okay. I like the claps. It's the claps are a nice way of because clearly they're opening things up on the bridge. They're kind of spacing out for a bit, and the layered claps are a nice way of like taking the same functional like drum, like they're still working as a snare, but it's just a little bit more spread out, instead of just sort of one. It's if that makes any sense. It's like it's a wider, thinner sound as opposed to a narrow, more forward one shot, right? Yeah. I think I made sense most of the time. Not all the time, but I think I know what I'm talking about some of the time, at least.
I can't sleep 'cause I'm the one who made this mess. Sick, sick, sick,
Okay.
sick to my stomach. My head knows you weren't the one I wanted. And fuck, it hurts to know that you're falling. And
Are you gonna open it up or keep it tight?
and now I'm drunk. I can't
You're keeping it tight. Okay.
I'm crying. My head just forgets all of the fighting. And fuck, it sucks to see that you're trying again before I did.
Ooh. Leave that arpeggio playing in the back. Nice. Cool. That was a lovely time. That was a bop. Chill bop. Chill, kinda sad bop. I'm really liking the variety on this album. You know, I was very much prepared for like a more sort of hyperpop heavy album, but she's covering a lot of bases. is using her own like unique inspirations from, you know, the people that she's worked with and sort of the music that she's gotten into making. And it's this really nice sampler of just different types of pop music, right? It's really cool. Really, really fun time. I'm enjoying this a lot. Okay. Lyrics. First one. Told you to move on, and girl, that's what you did. But I'm out doing the same thing, so I can't say anything. I don't even miss you. I promise I mean that. I don't want you for myself. I don't want to see you with someone else. Chorus is, and now I'm sick to my stomach. My head knows you weren't the one I wanted, and fuck, it hurts to know that you're falling in love before I did. And now I'm drunk, can't stop myself from crying. My head just forgets all of the fighting, and fuck, it sucks to see that you're trying again before I did. I am well aware with this feeling of when you realize that your ex has gotten back out there quicker than you have. And the feelings of like feeling dismissed or feeling like you didn't mean that much, or you didn't like, you kind of want the breakup to have a harder impact. It's the same sort of feeling a little bit as hope you're not happy. It's the same thing of like, I don't want you to be handling this as well as you are. You know, I don't want you to be moving on this quickly. You know? And that's, you know, that's just sort of a projection of insecurity. You'll get that. You'll get back out there on your own time, and you'll do just fine. Don't worry about what the other person is doing. Maybe they're not doing as well as it seems. They're probably coping in their own ways. You cope in your own ways, as long as it's healthy. Yeah, that was lovely. Just a nice, sad 80s-esque ballad. Yeah, okay, there is a little bit of a annotation here. It's about this pain and confusing thoughts and feelings that can surface after seeing your ex and the jealousy this can bring. Yeah, I guess that's a fairly simplified. I think I said it better. Genius. Hire me. I can write words good. Okay? Let's make this happen. While I wait for that email, let's move on to what am I gonna do with you? I don't know. What are you gonna do with me? I didn't realize there were things for you to do. I didn't know there was anything that needed to be done with me. What, did I do something? Do I need to do something? Apparently something needs to be done. Allegedly with me. So let's find out, I guess. Ooh. Ooh. We're back into the crunch. Ooh. Okay. I love these types of melodies. It's a very recognizable pattern of the sort of like do 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 do. It's just got this sort of anticipation energy to it, and it's got this like very like confident, exciting, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna make things happen, and you may not be ready for it, but here I come, kind of thing to it. It gets me excited as soon as I recognize it. I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. What are you gonna do? Ooh. Okay. That's fun. She does a cool thing with that she does that like sort of slide at the end of You, where like most of that chorus feels like it's in somewhat of a major key, but that slide just kind of edges it into the minor, into that kind of like foreboding feeling of the like, what am I gonna do with you? The ew. That's the thing that kind of makes you question like where it's going.
Why don't you slip inside the corners of my mind? If you can find your way out, I promise there'll be a prize. Walked in with open eyes, but you look so surprised. I hope you get home safe at the end of the night. Do you wanna fall
Cool.
like the others, like the
I love what the hi-hat is doing. Again, this is another thing of like how to make a song feel like it's moving forward, like it has forward energy, you know. And it's the hi-hat is doing the so it's kind of emphasizing on that like the end of the measure, or sort of like the it's really emphasizing the downbeat, which kind of makes it feel like a marching sort of thing, which then makes you feel like it's moving forward. It's got momentum, as I like to say. I use that word a lot, and I'm going to keep using it as long as it's applicable. I also like that they're throwing in the odd open hi-hat. It's a nice little bit of variety, tasty little bit of variety, spice.
rain falls down, down, down the gutter. You taste just like sugar, sweet as a sucker. What am I gonna do with you?
I don't know. Oh. Oh. That like squeal of the guitar right at the end there was, again, it was a correct choice. She did the right thing with that guitar squeal. That was what she should have done, and she did it, and I am glad that she did. Ooh. Nice. Okay. My only note, this has been my only like critique, if you could call it that. It's really more of a request, like a retroactive request. This is what I wish could have happened there during that bridge section, as I feel like that would have been a great spot for a guitar solo. That's me, you know. I just feel like it would have worked. It would have really kept the energy going, but also elevated it. I don't dislike the song for not having it. I just would have liked it more if it had. Even without it, that was great. That was so much fun. She's doing a great job here. Lyrically, maybe this is, let's see if there's anything said. No, No. Okay. Verse. I find it funny, you checking on me. I try to push you away, always come back when I say, honey, you're such a dummy. I'm not a sociopath, but you landed in my lap. Do you want to fall like the others? Like the rain falls down the gutter. You taste just like sugar, sweet as a sucker. What am I gonna do with you? I don't know. Maybe this is her being a little cheeky of like getting into. Maybe she's finally gotten herself back out there, and she's met someone that maybe seems a little naive, a little innocent, but really seems to be like into her. And now she's just like, man, I don't know if I want to risk ruining this kid's life. Seems too innocent for that. Seems like too much of a sucker. Do I really want to do it to him? And I would say, checking with them. You're not the only one worried about messing things up. Moving on to Cry Hard Enough, which is wow. There's a lot to unpack there. And I'm ready to hear how it gets unpacked.
Maybe I didn't cry hard enough.
Ooh.
All of the things that I could have done. Thought that by now you'd had enough. You had enough.
So the main melody is staying center, but those weird lower harmonies are switching between sides, which is cool.
Baby, I didn't cry hard enough. Fantasy love's a loaded
Ooh.
gun. Whatever it says, it isn't love. This isn't love. Traces of you in my blood. I wish I didn't give a fuck about it.
I understand.
Warm me up by your mistakes. The cycle was too strong to break for you.
This actually sounds a lot. This is kind of the Rebecca Black that I've been listening to. She's had like a few. She's like had an EP out. She's got a couple EPs. I've got her oldest one in my library, as well as a couple sort of collab singles that she's done. And it's very much this kind of stuff where it's very like flowy and melodic. She's probably about to do some sort of drop into a beat that's gonna tear me apart. But just establishing this feels like familiar Rebecca Black territory so far. Okay. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay. That synth is so tight and really fun and bouncy. I love it.
Makes my heart sink and I feel small, as though I'm stranded in an airport. I really thought that you should know.
Ooh. Those are some ominous chords. That's the end of that one. Interesting. So that was mostly pretty chill, pretty low-key stuff there. I liked the little beat drop. I like that it wasn't too crazy considering what the song ended up being. Yeah, lyrics wise, starts with the chorus. Maybe I didn't cry hard enough. All of the things that I could have done. Thought that by now you'd have had enough. Maybe I didn't cry hard enough. Fantasy love is a loaded gun. Whatever this is, it isn't love. This isn't love. Interesting. Is this... Ooh, boy. Traces of you in my blood. I wish I didn't give a fuck about it. Warn me about your mistakes. The cycle was too strong for you to break for you. Interesting. Oh, is this like a toxic relationship? You're breaking my heart every time you try to pretend there's nothing wrong. All your flaws on display, so maybe it's all my fault. Whoa. This is sad. This is depressing. There's some like self-blame here for things that are not necessarily her fault. The outro is also interesting. I really want to let go. I want to stand tall on my own. The thought of myself feeling broken makes my heart sink and I feel small, as though I'm stranded in an airport. I really thought that you should know. Wow. This is an unfortunate situation. There's a lot going on here. Kind of describing this, I guess you would call it a fraught relationship. Where it seems like there's a lot of habits and patterns on the other person's side that they have a hard time breaking out of. And so that's its own tension in the relationship. And like all of these problems are making her feel like she isn't trying hard enough. She didn't care enough. Maybe that's what the cry hard enough. Like maybe she felt like she should have been more torn up about how things are. And so if she did, then that would be a sign that she cared more about the relationship, which is, I get it. But it's man. And whenever I say like this, you know, this idea or this thought, you know, isn't healthy or anything, that's not me critiquing the song. That's me offering insight as inspired by these lyrics. You know, songwriting, you can write a song in the middle of a bad time. You can write out thoughts that are maybe not conclusions to land on, but just thoughts that come out while you're in the process of something. And so, yeah, that thing of like, you didn't cry hard enough. Maybe there was an element of like, you weren't as engaged as you maybe should have been. But that I don't think that's something that is worth analyzing or stressing over or reminiscing over or wondering what if, you know? That's a sunk cost idea. It's going to cost you more to think about it than it'll benefit you. And then that final bit of want to let go and stand on my own, but the thought of myself feeling broken makes my heart sink and I feel strong and I feel small as though I'm stranded in an airport. Oh, I feel that. Stranded in an airport is a great way of putting that. Of just like, I'm stuck here and I don't feel like I should be here alone. But like, that's just the situation that you're in and you feel helpless and confused. And so I get that feeling, wanting to avoid that feeling is enough to keep you in this problematic relationship. I get it. I'm not gonna even offer a solution. Just gonna say, I hear you. I get it. If you're listening to this song and you identify with at least 50% of this, I hear you. It's a bad time. Things will hopefully get better. We're gonna move on to Look at You. Look at you. My. Look at you. Take a look at this guy. Huh? Look at you.
People see you on the screen and think you make believe. But I tell them you're better in person.
Interesting.
You got that kind of confidence that makes everyone obsessed. But be honest, I know that you're hurting, but I guess everyone's got someone who can blow their shit up. I hate that she made you wanna cry. Took one shot and shut you down. She's got nothing on you. I hope you see that now.
Aw.
And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous of you too.
She's got pipes. Like I said earlier, kids got pipes.
Look at you, selfish to a fault. You
Ah,
drive
nice.
the car straight through a wall. If it meant that you lessened the burden. Look at you.
Oh. Ah, this goes so hard. And it's like bright. It's like I like sort of the relationship between the instrumentation and the tone of the band between that and what the lyrics are about. Which I'll talk about more once I get into the lyrics, but I just want to highlight that, like, I like the angle that this song is taking.
I hate that she made you wanna cry. Took one shot and shut you down. She's got nothing on you. I hope you see that now. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous of you too. Look at you.
Aw. That was lovely. Okay, so lyrics, chorus. Well, I'll start with the verse 1. People see you on the screen and think you're make-believe, but I tell them you're better in person. You got that kind of confidence that makes everyone obsessed. But be honest, I know that you're hurting, but I guess everyone's got someone who can blow their shit up. And then the chorus is, I hate that she made you want to cry. Took one shot and shut you down. Just got nothing on you. I hope you see that now. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous of you too. Look at you. This is what I will say is a pep talk for a close friend, which is one of my favorite types of songs to listen to. Is just the artist wrote a song for their friend to be like, hey, I know you're going through some things. I know you don't feel too great about yourself, but you, like, just this whole song of being like, you're better than you think. Like, look at yourself. Look at what a winner you are. It's interesting because she's also implying, like, people see you on the screen and think you're make-believe. So I wonder if she's the friend that she's singing to. Maybe she's singing this to herself. maybe. But the second person that the song is addressed to is clearly someone that is also relatively in the public eye, and maybe they're handling the attention in a rough way. Maybe they're getting some less than favorable attention, and they don't know how to deal with it. And so this song is just like encouragement. You're better than you're being made to feel, which is great. Great stuff. Good work. We have one more song left. Like I said, half an hour long. Last one is called Performer. So I wonder what we're going to learn about performance. I know a few things about performance. I'm curious as to see what Ms. Black has to say on the matter. Ooh. Interesting.
Hearts too used to being lonely.
She is.
Stuck in my soul.
So, like, you know, you'll hear, like, music production people talking about, like, the vocal is, like, forward or if it's further back. This vocal is, like, front, center with a spotlight on it. It's, like, right there in your face. And interesting.
Too bad is it stopping
Oh, wait.
me getting close to you.
Wait.
I'm a performer. Got
Okay.
myself cornered. Put on my armor. Just like my mother and father. Multiple versions of the same person.
Okay.
All of them hurting. Don't think the performance is working. Every time I try to be more vulnerable, it's like
She's doing some weird timing things here.
go any further. I don't got myself cornered. Put
Ooh,
on my
nice.
armor. Just like my mother and father.
I like that, like, sort of rolling feel.
Of the same person. All of them hurting. Don't think the performance is working.
Hmm. That's a really interesting choice to have the acoustic guitar in here. Just sort of adds that extra element of like feels a little bit more like authentic, I guess. Like she's being a little bit more vulnerable with this one. Oh. We're fully into the 3/4, which is cool. It was kind of doing like a swung sort of triplet feel, but it still felt like it was 4/4, and now we're fully into the 3/4.
Multiple versions of the same person. All of them hurting. Don't think the performance is working.
Whoa. What a way to end the album. Like what a note to end on. Interesting. That was cool. I definitely feel like I'll get to my overall thoughts on the album in a moment here. I'm gonna get to these lyrics because there's a lot going on here. So verse 1, hearts too used to being lonely, stuck in muscle memory. No one really knows me. Is my independence coming back to bite me? Do you really like me, or are we pretending? Pre-chorus, I'm a performer, that's what I know how to do, but is it stopping me getting close to you? And then the chorus is, I'm a performer, got myself cornered, put on my armor, just like my mother and father, multiple versions of the same person, all of them hurting. don't think the performance is working. Interesting. So there's a few different ways you can look at this, because it's a commentation on, or commentary on, like, her being a performer, you know, being an artist, someone who presents themselves in a way, in a specific way for like, you know, promoting an album, or just having a certain artist image, an artist persona, right? But she's also spinning it in the acting sense of, like, I have these characters that I play, these versions of myself. And then she zooms out even more. She says she's a performer, got herself cornered. She puts on her armor just like her mother and father. Like, this is something that everyone does. Like, I do it, my parents do it, my friends do it. Everyone does this. Everyone's got multiple versions of the same person. But then she is like, if all of those versions of you don't feel good, then something isn't working. The performance isn't working. The performance is now doing you more harm than good. Because performance, if, you know, maybe that means, like, masking. Like, as someone that, like, has to flick a switch to appear more, like, sociable. If you don't want to suddenly look over at me at a party and it looks like I'm having an existential crisis, that's my own mental energy that I have to put into acting present, you know, as opposed to me just sitting on the couch, like, because if you let me, that's kind of my easiest, that's my default state, right? So if you don't get a chance to kind of be that, if you don't get the chance to be your default state because you need to be this person for this person, or be a different version of you for this other person, or be a completely different person for this context, that gets so exhausting. Especially if, you know, you're putting all of this time into being all these other people, but you're not able to, like, that takes away all of your time to actually feel good about who you are, for who you are, like, sort of the core version of yourself, if there is such a thing. Yeah, I think ending thought for that song is just like, if you don't feel like the performance is working, stop performing for a bit. If it puts some people off, sometimes that's the price you pay for a little bit of mental recovery. Sometimes not everyone gets to see the best produced version of you, and that's okay. And with that, that is the end of Let Her Burn. That was great. That was such a strong album. I do feel like I definitely liked the first half more than the second half. The second half was a little bit more on the chill side, which I didn't hate, but I feel like I was able to get into the first half a little bit more. So, yeah, that was a great time. Well done, Rebecca Black. How old is this kid? I'm pretty sure she's about my age. She's 25 years old. She's 1 year younger than me. That's nuts. Well done. I would like to think that if we were given the chance to hang out, maybe we could be friends. Don't want that to come across as creepy or anything. It's just good vibes from what I can tell. But yeah, that was Let Her Burn. Good stuff. Really strong. Like it feels weird to look at this as her debut album when like she's sort of been part of the cultural awareness for so long. But I'm glad that she actually took this long to release a full album that she can call hers. You know, I like her EPs. There's one EP that I need to still listen to. But I hope she's very proud of this album because it's a great time. Really excited to see where she goes from there. Would love to hear her work with other artists in the future, whether they're for her album or if she features on other people's albums. Yeah, if there are any specific Rebecca Black works that you would like me to take a look at, let me know. I'm a fan of this. She's got some good stuff. Yeah, in general, just let me know if there are any specific albums that you'd like to see me listen to. I've got a list, so I can get you into the queue. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Some of these songs are probably not for everyone. Some of this sort of weirder pop is a little bit of a acquired taste. But I cannot get enough of it. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, I would love it if you click the like button. Helps me out a lot. Like I said, leave your comments and thoughts and other album recommendations down in the comments. If you are enjoying what you see, maybe you want to subscribe so that you can see more easier, so that YouTube knows to show you more of my stuff. Yeah, I do a lot of gaming, but I do these every now and then. They've got a place in my upload schedule for, you know, every couple weeks or so. If you want to know exactly when I release things, whether album reactions or not, you can also ring the bell. Yeah, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Have a good one.